Bism- Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And quote for the day is Allah says in Holy Quran, but you prefer the worldly life while the hereafter is better and more enduring. The topic for today's presentation is dietary antioxidants, food fortification, and food adulteration. I am Dr. Ayesha Amin, PGR of FCPS Community Medicine at Institute of Public Health, and I will be presenting this under the kind supervision of my supervisor and teacher, Professor Dr. Saira Afzal, who is the Dean of IPH Lahore. So, the learning outline for today's presentation would be introduction, sources, and functions of dietary antioxidants, clinical and public health importance, introduction to food fortification and its benefits, the implementation of fortification strategies and challenges, introduction to common food adulterants and their health hazards, prevention strategies, public health and regulatory frameworks, recent updates, and multiple choice questions. Learning objectives. By the end of this presentation, the participants will be able to describe the importance of dietary antioxidants, brief introduction of food fortification, its importance and challenges, the health hazard associated with food adulteration, regulatory frameworks, prevention strategies, and to be able to answer the multiple choice questions. Coming to the dietary antioxidants, antioxidants are the substance that prevents or slow damage to the cells which is caused by free radicals, unstable molecules which are produced during normal metabolism, inflammation, pollution, smoking, and radiation. They protect the body by stabilizing these harmful molecules. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can even damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. Oxidative stress occurs when the free radicals concentration increases as compared to antioxidants. This imbalance contributes to aging and chronic diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, cancers, diabetes, and neurodegenerative disorders. Antioxidants help maintain balance and protect body tissues. Sources of dietary antioxidants. The antioxidants are vitamins, especially vitamin C, which is a water soluble vitamin and it neutralizes free radicals in the body. And it is mainly found in citrus fruits, strawberries, and peppers. Vitamin E, which is a fat soluble vitamin, it protects the cell membrane and it's found in nuts, seeds, and oils. And vitamin A, which is a powerful pigmented antioxidants found in carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy green vegetables. Minerals such as selenium, which work with antioxidant enzymes such as glutathione peroxidase, and it is found in rich quantities in fish, eggs, and nuts. Zinc, which support antioxidants enzyme and immune function, and it found in meat, legumes, and seeds. Then there are phytochemicals, which are naturally occurring plant chemical which have antioxidant properties. It includes polyphenols, which are found in tea, berries, and olives, flavonoids, which are found in fruits, vegetable, and coca, and carotenoids, which are found again in carrot, tomato, and green leafy vegetable. The food sources of vitamin are fresh fruits, vegetables, such as spinach, broccoli, nuts and seeds, whole grains, and again tea, coca, herbs, and spices. This slide is again showing the sources of antioxidants, and we have citrus fruits and vegetables, green tea, nuts like almonds and walnuts, spices like turmeric and cinnamon also contains antioxidants, then berries like strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Antioxidants are also richly available in olive oil and avocado oil. And then dark chocolate also contains a high amount of antioxidants. Then leafy green vegetables like spinach and vitamin C and E supplements for an extra boost. The functions of antioxidants, they are basically perform an important function of neutralizing free radicals. Antioxidants donate electrons to free radicals, stabilizing them and preventing cellular damage. They have a great role in prevention of chronic diseases by reducing the oxidative stress into the body. They prevent from cardiovascular diseases by lowering the LDL oxidation and inflammation. It protect from cancers by protecting DNA from damage, and they protect also from diabetes by improving insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation. Then they support the immune function as well. Antioxidant like vitamin C and zinc, it strengthens the immune cells, improve wound healing, and support infection control. Then anti-aging and anti-inflammatory roles, they reduce chronic inflammations and they slow the signs of aging in tissues, improve cognitive function, and reduces the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. And they protect against environmental damage such as UV light and pollution. Recommended intake from the dietary reference intake, the vitamin C should be taken in the quantity of 75 to 90 milligrams per day, vitamin E as 15 milligrams per day, vitamin A as 700 to 900 microgram per day. The daily intake can vary with age and certain physiological conditions like pregnancy and lactation, in which the demands of these antioxidants is increased. Then balanced diet and supplementation. The food sources are preferred because nutrients are in natural combination. Supplement may be added in deficiencies or special conditions. Higher doses of antioxidant supplements can also be harmful. We will see that later on as well. And excessive vitamin E can cause toxicity, and high beta carotene supplementation can increase the cancer risk in smokers. So the clinical and public health importance of antioxidants. Antioxidants have an important role in prevention of NCDs, as we have talked earlier. Antioxidants help prevent major non-communicable disease by reducing inflammation, preventing DNA damage, improving vascular health, enhancing metabolic function. So they prevent a major role in preventing the major NCDs such as cancers, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. The excessive antioxidant supplementation. Excessive antioxidant use can cause harm. If there is excess of vitamin A, it can lead to vitamin A toxicity, which causes liver damage and birth defects. High beta carotene supplementation increases the risk of lung cancer in smokers. If there is too much vitamin E, it can lead to the bleeding risk. So high doses can disrupt the natural balance and impairs body own antioxidant defense mechanisms. So they should be taken within the normal limits and the daily reference intakes, which have been told in the guidelines. The next topic is food fortification. So, food fortification is defined as the deliberate addition of essential vitamins and minerals to commonly consumed food to prevent or correct the population level micronutrient deficiency. Its purpose is to improve nutritional status, reduce deficiency disorders like anemia and goiter, and support growth, immunity, and cognitive development. Now we have the types of fortification. There is mass fortification, in which nutrients are added to the foods which are consumed widely by the general population, e.g., iodized salt or fortified flour. So the target is entire population. Then there is a kind of fortification which is targeted fortification. In targeted fortification, nutrient added to the food meant for specific groups such as pregnant women, infant, or school-going children. So example is fortified complementary food or school feeding programs. Then there is market-driven fortification. The food manufacturers, they voluntarily add nutrients for marketing or added value to increase the worth of their brand. So example is breakfast cereals, which are fortified with vitamins. Then there is a term known as mandatory fortification. Mandatory food fortification occurs when the government legally oblige food producers to fortify particular food or categories of food with specified micronutrients, providing high certainty over time that they will contain a predetermined amount. It ensures uniformity and population-wide coverage. Globally, mandatory regulations are most often applied to the fortification of food with micronutrients such as iodine, iron, vitamin A, and folic acid. Of these, the iodization of salt is the most widely implemented and it is performed globally. The voluntarily fortification occurs when a food manufacturer freely chooses to fortify a particular food in response to permission given in food laws as a mean to increase their brand value. So it is common in high income countries, but again, it is very hard to regulate. So the commonly fortified foods are salt, which is fortified with iodine, and it prevents iodine deficiency disorders such as goiter, hypothyroidism, and impaired cognitive development. Universal salt iodization is one of the most successful global nutritional interventions. Then a flour, which is fortified with iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. It addresses anemia, neural tube defects, and journal B complex deficiencies. Wheat flour fortification is implemented in many countries, including Pakistan. Then there is oil and ghee fortification, which is done with vitamin A and D. Fat soluble vitamins added to cooking oil, ghee to tackle widespread deficiencies. It helps prevent night blindness, poor immunity, and bone disorders. And then milk, which is also fortified with vitamin A and D. Fortified milk improves childhood nutrition and support bone health, and it is particularly helpful for population which have very low sunlight exposure. So the implementation strategies: selecting the appropriate food as vehicle in order to qualify as suitable for fortification. The vehicle or the nutrient must fulfill the following criteria. There are four criteria. The first is the vehicle fortified must be consumed consistently as a part of the regular daily diet by the relevant section of the population or total population. The amount of nutrient added must provide an effective supplement for low consumers of the vehicles without contributing a hazardous excess to the high consumers. The addition of the nutrient should not cause it to undergo any noticeable change in the taste, smell, appearance, or consistency. And the last criteria is the cost of fortification must not raise the price of food beyond the reach of the population in their greatest need. Then the second strategy is once the vehicle is selected and the fortification is done, the next step is monitoring and quality assurance. So regular testing of the fortified foods for correct levels of nutrition should be done. Ensure premix quality, and surveillance system should measure impact on population health. And then engaging in industry stakeholders, working with mills, salt processors, and oil manufacturers, training producers on standardized fortification technique, and providing incentives and technical support to them. The regulatory frameworks, setting national fortification standards, and they enforce laws for mandatory fortification. They give licensing and do inspections, and there are penalty system as well. And they have harmonization with the global guidelines, which are provided by the World Health Organization and Food and Agricultural Organization. The challenges which are associated with the fortification of the food is compliance issue. Some producers may not fortify at required levels, and small mills often lack equipment or trained staff. Then there are issues of quality control, valuable nutrients level due to variable nutrient levels due to the poor mixing. There is inconsistent monitoring, and expired or poor quality premix is used. Then there is acceptance by consumers. There are misconceptions among the population. For example, people believe that iodized salt may cause infertility. Then there are preference for unbranded, unpackaged food as well. And then there is resistance to increase in price. The fourth challenge is the risk of overconsumption or toxicity. Excess iodine can cause thyroid problem, and too much vitamin A or D can be harmful, as we have discussed earlier. So balanced fortification level is essential. So the examples from Pakistan and around the globe of fortification of food. The first one is universal salt iodization, which is done in Pakistan as well as around different corners of the world. So it is mandatory in Pakistan and many countries. And again, it reduces iodine deficiency disorders worldwide. Then there is wheat flour fortification program. So Pakistan's large-scale flour fortification project adds iron and folic acid, and it helps reduce anemia and birth defects. And it is implemented globally in more than 80 countries. And then vitamin D fortification initiatives is being performed in Pakistan as fortification of oil, ghee, and milk. And then globally, it is performed in North America, which fortifies vitamin D into the dairy products, cereals, and juices. And again, it aims to reduce the widespread vitamin D deficiency, especially in regions with low sunlight. So, what are the WHO recommendations in context to food fortification? The World Health Organization recommends the large scale food fortification as a powerful, evidence informed, and cost effective interventions to fight vitamin and mineral deficiencies. So they have two categories. First one is the recommendation in all setting, which includes the universal salt iodization and fortification of maize flour, cornmeal, wheat flour, and rice with vitamins and minerals. And the second category is for children living in different settings. So micronutrient powders containing iron for point of use fortification of foods for infants and young children for the age of 6 to 23 months of age, or children with from 2 to 12 years of age. So, what is the response of WHO? WHO has been working systematically in food fortification for decades and collaborates with different networks for fortification at regional, country, and community levels. So, WHO, the World Food and Agricultural Organization (FAO) of the United Nations, and the Codex Alimentarius Commission, they developed the journal principles for the addition of essential nutrients to foods with the intention to provide guidance and protect health. WHO has also organized and convened guidelines and has created implementation and monitoring tools in collaboration with the countries. And WHO has also monitors and report progress of several nutrition targets that are affected by fortification, such as reduction of anemia in women and the reduction of stunting in children under 5 years of age who are consuming fortified food. So the food fortification program, which is running in Pakistan, FFP, the Nutrition International, in collaboration with the Mott McDonald, is implementing a large-scale food fortification program in the 56 district across Pakistan to support the national and provincial governments' fortification efforts. Widely consumed wheat flour and edible oils will be fortified with the essential micronutrients to reduce deficiencies of iron, folic acid, vitamin A, vitamin B12, and vitamin D, particularly among women and children. As per 2019, this collaboration helped to increase the total production of fortified edible oil and wheat flour in Pakistan and ensure that more than 65 million people in the country has access to critical micronutrient. So, as per 2019 data, there were 70% of the functional mills which were fortifying wheat flour. There were 62.6 million people who were consuming the fortified oil, and there were 2.5 million people which were consuming fortified wheat flour. The next topic is food adulteration. The food adulteration refers to the addition, substitution, removal, or contamination of food components that reduce its quality, safety, or nutritional values. The types of adulteration, it can be substitution, in which replacing a high quality ingredient with a cheaper one, addition, adding harmful or unnecessary substances, removal, extracting valuable components, for example, removing fat from milk, and contamination, accidental mixing of harmful substances such as pesticides or dirt. Intentional versus unintentional adulteration. The intentional adulteration done deliberately to increase profit, for example, adding water to milk or mixing oil to milk, mixing cheaper oil, adding artificial color to spices. And unintentional adulteration occur accidentally during production, storage, and transportation. For example, pesticide residue, insect contamination, heavy metals in water, and poor hygiene. So the reasons for adultering food product is it is practiced as a part of the business strategy and imitation of some other food substances, lack of knowledge of proper food consumption to increase the quantity of food production and sale, increased food demand for a rapidly growing population, and to make maximum profit from food items by fewer investment. So the common food which are adulterated is milk. In milk, water is added to dilute milk quality. Detergents are added to create a foam, which are basically harmful to health. Then starch is added to give thickness to the diluted milk. Then urea, which increase apparent protein content, and it is very dangerous. Also in milk, oil is added to increase the fat content of the milk. In spices, artificial color used to improve appearance, and some are toxics like brick powders, sawdust, and even Sudan red and lead chromates. They are used to give colors to the chili powder basically. In oils, the cheaper oils, palm oils, or low grade oils are mixed into the expensive oils, and then mineral oils, non-edible, can cause mineral oils. They are basically non-edible and can cause cancer and other organ damage. And In grain and pulses, the stones or sands are added to increase weight. Then there are artificial polishing agents are used, which makes grain appear shiny, and they may contain harmful chemicals like talc or wax. And adding certain chemicals for the faster ripening of the fruit is also a form of food adulteration. So these are the foods which are commonly adulterated, like in milk. They use unhygienic water, chalk powder, soap powder, hydrogen peroxide, urea, oil, and in black pepper, instead of black pepper seeds, papaya seeds are added. And then in oil, Ergemon seeds like mineral seeds they are added. Then in ghee, vegetable oil or animal body fat is used. Chili powder, so brick powder is added to give color and form like chili powder, sawdust, Sudan red stains. They are all used in chili powder. And then in turmeric powder, yellow aniline dye and non-permitted colorants like mental yellow can be used. So, what are the health hazards associated with food adulteration? It can lead to the acute toxicity. Some adulterant cause immediate symptoms such as vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, food poisoning, and chemical detergents. The chemical burns form detergents in the milk, and some have the carcinogenic risk. They are linked to the cancers after long term consumption, such as dyes, mineral oils, and heavy metals in the food. The long term organ damage can also be there due to the use of contaminated food. It can lead to the kidney failure because of urea and heavy metals, liver damage due to the chemical adulteration, neurological problem due to the presence of lead and mercury, and then they can also lead to the endocrine disorders. And there can be allergic and hypersensitivity reactions. Adulterant like artificial colors or certain chemical, they may cause rash and itching, asthma-like symptoms, and anaphylaxis in severe cases. So, what are the prevention strategies for food adulteration? The first one is consumer awareness. So, educate the people about identifying the adulterated food, buying from a very reliable source, and understanding food labels. Strengthening the regulatory system, updating food safety laws, improving enforcement, setting higher quality standards, and increasing the number of trained inspectors who can inspect the food markets. Then there should be routine sampling and surveillance. Regular testing of commonly adulterated food should be done. Monitoring production units should be there, and data driven action against high risk areas. And promoting a food safety culture, encouraging businesses to adopt safe practices. There should be certification programs given to the companies and food sellers. Collaboration between government, industry, and consumer is an important thing, and there should be zero tolerance for adulteration. Strict laws should be there, and they should be implemented. So, public health and regulatory framework. So in Pakistan, the first one is National Food Safety Standards. Pakistan, which is known as PSQCA, Pakistan Standard and Quality Control Authority. It sets and regulates food quality standards, and it ensures contaminants, additives, and ingredients, they all should be within the permissible limits. Then there is an important role of food authorities. So there are food authorities in almost all the provinces of Pakistan. So the Punjab Food Authority, what it does, it inspect markets, it tests for food samples, and it shut down non-compliant business, and it run awareness campaigns as well. Then third thing is there should be the legal penalties for adulteration, and it includes heavy fines, business closure, imprisonment, and product confiscation. So all these measures they lead to the discouragement of food adulteration and protect public health. So there is an anti-adulteration campaign done by the Punjab Food Department in Pakistan. Especially in Punjab, an anti-adulteration campaign in Punjab is being started as per the vision instruction of the Chief Minister Punjab to ensure safety and quality of food items for general public. There is a toll-free number for the complaint, which is mentioned in this slide. Then what they do is they daily take action in bazaars and eateries, hotels and restaurants. They do daily action against adulteration in districts. There is a dashboard of PITB in which there is a daily report is submitted by 6 p.m. and then there is complaint redressal is done. The complaints which are received on dashboard through a toll-free number, they are addressed, and they also do public awareness campaigns. So, what are the penalties for a first offense? Rigorous imprisonment for a term up to 1 year and fine up to from Pakistani rupees 100 to 2000. Then for a second offense with rigorous for a term which shall not be less than 3 months and not more than 2 years, and the fine of 500 to 10,000. And for repeated offenses or for offenses of large scale adulteration or adulteration with injurious substances, even in the first instance, with rigorous imprisonment shall not be less than 3 years and not more than 5 years, and the fine is 5,000 to 1 lakh rupees. So recent updates. This is a article which was published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Research. Fortified and functional foods, trends, innovation, and their public health impact for future nutrient enrichment. So, a novel encapsulated techniques, it is applied in the fortification of iron double emulsion with more than 88% encapsulation efficiency, and as well as gel beads designed to enhance the release of iron under gastric condition, greatly improve the bioavailability of the iron in staple food such as cereals and bakery product. These innovation achieves targeted delivery with increased bioavailability, but require clinical trials and long-term safety testing in order to guarantee the impact to public health scale. This was basically a systematic review, and they find these technique as the future perspective. Then microencapsulation techniques have been adopted for enhancing the stability and the controlled release of vitamin B12. Hence, encapsulated and free forms were incorporated into the staple food as an effective way of addressing the deficiency disease. Vitamin B12 encapsulated with cereals enhanced serum B12 concentration in older adults without affecting taste. Then there are nano formulations which have been developed to enhance the delivery, bioavailability, and stability of the micronutrients and bioactive compounds, overcoming challenges such as nutrient degradation and unpleasant sensory attributes. Emerging nanocarriers such as lipid-based nanoemulsion demonstrate superior stability and enable the controlled release of micronutrient, offering transformative potential for advancing fortified food delivery systems. There are innovative nutrients, that is bamboo shoots, which are a rich source of minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, polyesters, phenols, being very useful in the development of new healthy food products with new nutrient and bioactive compounds. An addition of carotenoids, polyphenols, and omega-3 fatty acid as bioactive ingredients in the nutraceuticals for health benefits, and fortified foods mainly prevent and control the incidence of chronic diseases. Then there are macroalgae, which commonly known as seaweeds, are nutrients rich enriched and contain high levels of bioactive compounds, and therefore they are the most suitable candidate for food fortification. They have a very high protein content, low in lipid, and a high antioxidant content, factors that all boost the nutritional value and health impact of fortified food. Coming to the multiple choice questions, the first MCQ is: a 45-year-old smoker presents with high oxidative stress markers. He has been taking high dose of beta carotene supplements for the past 6 months. Recent studies shows worsening lung function, which explains explanation best fits this finding. Beta carotene supplement increase vitamin C absorption in smoker. High doses of antioxidant can act as a pro-oxidant in high risk groups. Smokers have impaired absorption of all fat soluble vitamins. Beta carotene protect lung tissue only when they take with vitamin E, or if oxidative stress reduces the bioavailability of the carotenoids.
B.
The right answer
B.
is B. The second MCQ is: a community health survey reveals widespread vitamin D deficiency despite ongoing fortification of milk. Which factor most likely reduces the effectiveness of this intervention? A. Vitamin D is heat stable and survives pasteurization. Consumption of milk is low in the targeted population. C. Vitamin D fortification levels are above recommended limits. Fortification is voluntarily and consumer dislike the taste, and vitamin D is poorly absorbed in children.
D.
The right answer is B. Consumption of milk is low in the targeted population. The third MCQ is: a food safety team discovered that a local mill is under fortifying wheat flour with an iron and folic acid. The mill owner complains that the premix is too expensive. What is the most appropriate public health action? A. Immediately shut down the mill permanently. B. Increase the iron content in the premix to reduce cost. Mandate fortified flour and provide subsidies or incentives. D. Replace iron with a cheaper but untested mineral source. E. Recommend voluntarily fortification to reduce pressure on producers.
A.
No, the right answer is C, as the premix is in fact expensive. So mandate fortified flour and provide subsidies or incentives. The fourth MCQ is a 3-year-old child develop acute diarrhea and vomiting after consuming milk purchased from a street vendor. Testing reveals that detergent contamination. This reflects which type of adulteration and risk. Unintentional adulteration causing delayed toxicity, intentional adulteration causing acute chemical toxicity, natural contamination causing hypersensitivity reaction, D. Accidental adulteration causing chronic organ damage, E. Substitution adulteration causing micronutrient deficiency.
B.
Yes, B is the right answer. The fifth MCQ is a nutrition program is considering adding antioxidant to emergency food rations during disaster relief. Which antioxidant would be the least effective due to instability during storage and heat? Vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, selenium, zinc.
A.
Yes, A is the right answer. The next MCQ is a health worker want to reduce the iron deficiency in a rural community. With which particular intervention should she promote? A, encourage household to reuse rock salt, promote wider use of iodized salt in cooking, advise boiling iodized salt for long periods, recommend removing salt from diet completely, and encourage homemade unrefined salt use.
B.
Yes, B is the right answer. The next MCQ is a national health program aimed to reduce the neural tube defect. Which fortification strategy which provide the largest population level impact? Voluntarily folic acid fortification of breakfast cereal, mandatory folic acid fortification of wheat flour, supplementation of folic acid only during pregnancy, adding folic acid to milk sold in urban markets, and providing folic acid tablets only through tertiary hospitals.
B.
Yes, B is the right answer. The next MCQ is a patient with frequent infection is advised to increase the antioxidant rich food. Which food option best applies this advice? A, white bread and margarine. B, refined sugar and pastries. C, processed meat and canned soup. Instant noodles and soft drinks. D, citrus fruits and leafy green vegetables.
E.
Yes, E is the right answer. Our population consume a diet rich in natural antioxidant. Despite this, oxidative stress level remains high. Which factor is most likely responsible in A, increase intake of antioxidant supplement, B, reduced dietary intake of phytochemicals, C, environmental exposure to pollutants and tobacco use, D, high intake of fruits and vegetables, and rare genetic resistance to antioxidants.
A.
The right answer is
A.
C. The last MCQ is a government considering mandatory vitamin A fortification in cooking oil is concerned about toxicity. Which statement best address this concern? Vitamin A toxicity occur only with dietary sources. Fortification levels follow WHO limits and are safe for population use. Vitamin A fortification should be avoided due to universal toxicity. Only children are at the risk of toxicity, not adults, and vitamin A become non-toxic when mixed with oil.
B.
Yes,
B.
yes, B is the right answer. This is the key to MCQs. These are the references. This is the official.
Thank you. Thank you, Amin, Dr. Ayesha, for a very nice presentation. And the best thing is that have covered all the important pillars of food fortification program. And we know that the food fortification is necessary for making the healthier diets, better nutritional practices, and to improve the process and access to quality of food and the enabling environment. The most important part is that we have to enable the people so that the most important diet that they are continuously using over the years, it should be fortified, it should give the maximum nutrients for them. And the best practices that we have seen all over the world is to provide the nutrition through the basic diet patterns, not to change the diet as such. We know in Pakistan, the most of the people, they are still relying on wheat and ghee or oils. So the major widespread micronutrient deficiencies like vitamin A, vitamin D, and other important things like iron and folic acid can be added into staple food. Primarily wheat, that is called atta in our local language, that is necessary. Similarly, the ghee or oils that are edible, they must be fortified with vitamin A and D because they are the fat soluble vitamins. And similarly, there are many other things that should be fortified. However, I must say that you should write and add a slide on the wrong fortification practices. For example, we know that there are certain diets that cannot help in the absorption of the other micronutrients. So it is not a good idea to add those micronutrients in those diets. Similarly, we have seen that there are many patients of colitis that came because of the fortification of the milk with micronutrients. So this type of the practices not only damages the health, but also it gives a false impression to the public that this food is safe for them, and they became healthier despite of the fact that both are